Guys, so today we're going to do the winterization of the boat. We got a couple things we got to hit. We got to hit the head, get that winterized. We got two sinks, one in the head and one in the galley here. We have to do the engine, of course, and then we're going to have to also pull the gear oil out of the drive. That way if there's any moisture, any water in it, it won't crack if something frees up on you. So here we go. Okay, so we got the head out. This is what we're going to be putting in it. It's just RV and marine antifreeze. So that's the water tank that holds the water that you're flushing through the toilet itself. Fill that up. And what you're going to do is just pump it until you get coolant or antifreeze out of the jets, and that's what's going to keep everything from freezing up on you. So once you start seeing antifreeze flow through there, you're good. That's okay. So next on the list is we have to do all the sinks. We got one in the galley and one in the head. So the best way to do this, and the only way I've done it, I'm sure there's other processes, but we don't use the water. We always use bottled water or whatever we want to bring on the boat anyways. So this one's been winterized for a couple years, but this is how you do it. This is our water fill. So you pour your antifreeze right in there, a couple gallons. And then you just start pumping. So go down here, pump your faucet, and when you start seeing pink flowing out, you know you're good. Same thing in the head over here. You see pink coming out, you're all set. So next thing is we're moving on to the engine. What you want to do is pretty much pull any hose off that holds water. So all your coolant hoses that go up to the thermostat housing, your hoses that feed your exhaust manifolds, either side. If you have a fuel cooler or an oil cooler, you're going to want to pull those. And then you're also on the side of each. On this is a big block Chevy, so you'll have a plug in either side of the engine block, on either side of the V. And you want to pull those and drain all the water out here first. That's step number one. Okay, so I got all the hoses disconnected. I'll show you. You don't really need to unhook anything from up here. Always do the low point. So the water pump. See how they got the water coming out here still? As this boat hasn't been in the water for over a month and it still's got water in it. We got the exhaust manifold right here. This hose disconnected. Down there you can see the valve on the block. And make sure you run a piece of like wire or something through there. That way if there's any sediment or anything, you can get it unplugged. There's the other block valve, exhaust manifold, and then the oil cooler hose. You can see that. So now once you get all the water drained out of it, what do is you put the hoses back on. Okay, so we're just about to run the boat. After we got the hoses back connected, we're going to put our antifreeze in it. But something you want to do before you run the boat is you want to put stable in it. So top that off with stable. You know, this treats 80 gallons, this little jar here, and we're about a 90-gallon fuel tank. So just treat that, and then when you're running the boat, it will actually work its way into the carburetor, and you don't have to worry about anything getting gummed up. Okay, this is a little bit more complex than a lot of guys do, but this is how I've been doing it the last few years. I got a sled. This is for like pulling ice fishing gear. But fill that up with, I don't know, 2.5 gallons of your antifreeze. Run your hose. I got this little pump, my jumper box, and and then that way I can just circulate it and suck out of there. Once you're starting the motor, it will just kind of suck through the motor and make sure everything's coated real nice. So I'm going to go do that right now. Start her up. Okay, we just got her started up. Got coolant circulated through everything, and then we'll be good. Okay, so I just shut the engine off. Zero level went down quite a bit, so there's a fair amount trapped in the hoses and everything. So what we're gonna do is go back up and pull those hoses off again. Okay, so we ran the RV coolant through there, the antifreeze, and so now unhooked all my hoses again, both exhaust manifolds, the water pump, the oil cooler, and then the black drains on both sides. So once you got those, you just leave them open all winter long. Okay, so I also wanted to tell you guys my reasoning. Sometimes I'll put a jug up here of the antifreeze, just run it down to the hoses. Just let gravity and the impeller suck the stuff in. But the reason I do this is so that in case you got other boats, you can, in theory, just keep reusing it. Obviously, you're going to want to run it through like a paint strainer or something, but you can just recheck it to make sure it's got the correct freeze protection and everything, and then you can reuse it a couple times if you got a bunch of boats to do. Okay, last but not least, your drive. You want to drain the gear oil out of it. That way, if there's any moisture, any water that got in over the season, that you get that out of there. Because if that stays in there, you run the risk of cracking the case. So, zip the bolt out. And mine's got the vent on top, which is also a dipstick. Open that up, and she'll start falling. And then this is also a good time to check the health of it. See if there's any metal particles or anything. This looks pretty good. Another quick tip here is over the winter time, your drive will start to sink down. It doesn't matter if it's new, it's old. Cold weather and a long time sitting, it's gonna start sinking, and you run the possibility of dragging your drive on the ground when you pull it out. So just put a ratchet strap for your trailer tie down lugs here on either side, loop it around like that, and it'll keep it from sinking down over the winter time.